that down.
Okay.
Yeah, make us get up again.
Pledge allegiance
Pledge allegiance
to the flag
Of the
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Excellent. Okay, first order of business, let's just review minutes from the last meeting. I don't think we need to read these, if you guys will give me a few minutes just to look over them on brief. And Tom, you guys are, I think that's your pile of stuff. Any corrections that need to be made?
Nope.
No, but I'm sorry I wasn't here.
We missed you.
At the very beginning, we were looking for a speaker,
Yeah.
and I was told to get one. And I
Let's see.
found,
Okay.
Now,
Go.
open the door, just open the door.
Well, she's gonna go around, she's gonna go around, just so
Is
that
the
you don't
door
sit
open
out
out
there
there?
loud.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay.
With the speakers are on the agenda, we could talk about it then, if that be okay?
Sure.
We're just talking about these minutes here,
okay.
you guys all set with the minutes?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, they're approved as presented. Hooray.
Hooray,
Who
hooray.
approved it?
We have,
Who approved
I
it?
first it,
And who seconded? Nancy.
Nancy.
I put it approve as presented.
There you go.
Okay.
Alright. So,
Get yourself another second.
treasurer report. No big changes. The only thing is that we did get some donation of $75 from the Christmas fair, thanks to Sue and Mel standing out in the cold.
It was cold.
Yeah, so now total donation is $709.58. Expense account still has the $1,500, which brings us to a total of $2,209.58.
Perfect. Claudia, I have a question, on this. I was thinking of this today, should we be confirming that number with the town treasurer?
I always do.
So
I
what?
always do in my reports.
The
There's a budget,
700.
there's a budget.
Ah, okay, I'll
Yeah.
double check with it tomorrow. I'll be in.
Okay.
Lorraine, there's a budget that comes out once a month. So if I go online,
Oh,
they send
it'll
it
be
to
there?
me, and
Yeah.
I just go and I find Memorial Day Fund, and that will tell you
So
what
you
we
can
have.
confirm it?
So we could look in that. if
Okay,
you want.
we'll look
Can
at
do
it
that
tomorrow. Yeah,
Okay,
okay,
remind,
I will.
okay.
Okay.
I mean,
Thank
you
you.
can ask
It's
me,
just-
but it's better.
No,
No, but
You
it's,
can-
I was wondering how I would find out if that was correct or not, so that's good that you
Yes.
bring that up. I was wondering, yeah. 'Cause when I was typing up this thing, it was like, how do I know?
Yeah.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, well, and that's why I was thinking of that as I was coming today, I'm like, we've never, last year, we never confirmed with her that the donation account was accurate. We went with our numbers and the stuff that we submitted
Well, we still have your numbers, so hopefully it's correct,
and all
so.
the backup, but
Yeah.
I think we need to reconfirm
Yep.
that that number is correct, cause we don't, the budget is so tight,
Yeah,
the last thing we need is someone to say to us, okay, that's not right.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
okay, I'll double check it with.
Okay. The band update, contract's been sent, and everybody's happy with that. So, budget. Okay. Lauren, there's
Yes,
a
yeah.
package over there for you, hon.
Thank you.
Okay? So we had a discussion last meeting about the budget and how we have slashed everything out of the budget. You know, no Scotty's potties, no chairs, nothing, because the band is $1,850, which with a budget of $1,500, gotta come up with some cash somewhere, you know? So anyway, Lauren,
Yes.
you had mentioned that you might be able to get us a sponsorship.
You know what, I haven't been able to have a conversation with Nate about the legal parameters of that.
Okay,
Just because we are like a town committee, I'm not sure if, like what the legalities are for the taxpayers of the town to then sponsor a town committee, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
just need to make sure that it's like kosher.
okay.
And I haven't had the time to have that conversation with him, but I have office hours tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's, I'm going on my agenda right now for tomorrow's office hours.
Thank you so much, we really appreciate that. Okay. I had a conversation with Bill Shea, and we were talking about different things. And, I am currently writing a letter to the Lions Club, asking them if they would consider, helping us out with some things. So, if anybody wants input on that.
Well, being that two of us are sitting here, and we can take that up. They do, to bring bring down
The hot dogs and
Yeah.
stuff. We thought that we might not do that, because it's our,
We thought we were imposed, you know, cause last year we just assumed you were gonna do that. And I think that created a little bit of, you know, I don't think you were thinking you were gonna do that. You did it for the Vietnam one, because that was really very special. So we thought, we don't wanna impose on the Lions Club to do that every year or anything like that, because I think it's too much. So on the special one for
Too much of what?
for you, for the Lions Club to foot the hot dogs or bills and find someone to run the cart, you know, that's
That
what you
was
were
a
doing.
total
I don't think that's,
challenging.
I don't think that's even necessary
We don't need to
every
do,
Memorial Day.
no,
Yeah.
and plus we have an ice cream social afterwards,
Right,
so we
that's
thought we wouldn't
sufficient.
impose and take for granted that you might be doing
Yeah.
that. So that's why we decided out of respect for the Lions Club, that we didn't wanna do that.
Well,
So-
I would call it.
But if the Lions Club wanted to make a donation towards the band or something, that would be wonderful. Maybe that would be in place of the hot
Yeah, in
dogs, I
place of
don't
the
know.
hot dogs.
You said you were going to write a letter, Lions? Then
yeah.
I think we'll just be quiet and not say anything until they get the letter from you,
Yeah.
officially from you.
Okay,
Okay?
yep, stomach just hurled,
Because
but that's
it's-
okay.
Is
But
that-
that makes it better than, I think it just,
Yeah,
I think
okay.
we should just not say until they get the letter from you, and then we can affirm that we think it's a good idea and second.
Unless-
And then I'll do it in,
Okay.
we're doing that,
Okay,
we're asking that in lieu of
the hot,
the
Yeah.
hot dogs.
perfect, yeah,
Yeah.
if they would like to, you know, not, I'm sure a lot of people ask the Lions Club for a lot, and you have to pick and choose what you wanna do, and that's,
Well, and I don't think,
That's what we do.
yes.
Mhm.
People
Well,
ask us,
yeah.
or we find them ourselves.
Yeah.
but I
Don't
think
ever,
you're going to pass on the food truck this year.
Yeah,
I think that would be
I
the
think
best
it
thing
makes
to do,
it-
yeah. And they have the ice cream, and you know, it's a little bit less work, we don't have to pull all the tables out and the chairs out and all that, they can have the ice cream made inside like they
Yeah.
always did. That was 'cause it was a special occasion.
okay. Anything else anybody wants to talk about the budget? Because if the Lions help us, the hope is we'll be able to do the chairs and Scotty's bodies
Well,
and
I
things
think
like that.
Nate is also looking into the chairs, because there's no reason why the school can't lend us the chairs. There is no reason.
Could it have been like a COVID reason, when we?
Oh, no,
Or
no.
has this been multiple years?
Oh, yeah.
Multiple years. I think the first time I was on, I think it was the church that let us use the chairs, right, Tom?
Yeah,
Yeah, and now the church won't let us use the chairs. I don't know why.
Did they go back damaged or something?
Because they're
No,
new.
they just know.
no, they had two different bunches of those,
Mhm,
Yeah.
and they let us have the old ones.
mhm.
And told us we could not take the other ones out, and we never did. So did they get rid of one and they?
I don't know. Isn't that
Well,
funny that nobody wants to let us
I
use
was-
the chairs?
I was-
Silly.
I was.
I have
So we
4
just-
folding ones if you'd like.
I wanna be standing, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know,
I'm,
we're working on.
I'm still, they still talk to me, so.
Okay.
Well, if you wanna mention it to him, Tom, you're more than
I
welcome, I
will.
would think.
Let me,
Just to
let
see.
me give them
And Nate said he's gonna work on the chairs from the school. So that would be a great expense that we wouldn't have to pay if we had not renting them from Taylor Rental, cause I think that's expensive, Taylor Rental. How much was that?
Let's see, I think.
Wasn't it
Yeah,
like
she's got that.
two something?
Taylor rental was $305.
I mean, that's
That's a lot of
just for
money.
the chairs, yeah,
Just for a day?
Yeah.
for the day.
How many
Well,
chairs
no,
are
what
there,
they do is they drop them off on Friday,
Yeah,
and they pick them up on Tuesday.
yeah,
But
you
we only
need
want
them
them
for
for
one
We
one
day.
only
Yeah.
want for one day, but still, that's when they get dropped off.
This is for the veterans to sit on, right?
Yes.
The veterans and guest of honors.
Okay, well, yeah,
And
so,
the
yeah.
singing singers.
Yeah, so we need,
Yeah.
yeah, they need chairs.
Yeah.
Bring your own.
Well,
Yes.
The fact that Taylor Rendell brings them and picks them up.
That's nice,
is
yes.
huge. That's
Yeah,
a
but
huge
that's way
thing,
too
I
ex-
mean,
Yeah.
Boy
that is
Scouts
huge.
used to do it for us, but
The Boys, and we'll be asking the Boy Scouts to help set up.
Yeah.
cause they don't set up, they just bring them.
Yeah, the Boy Scouts were the ones that did it for me. You know,
Yeah.
I had to get, you know, to tell me you could do it, and
Yeah.
then it was under my, and I had the key to the church.
Yeah,
And I couldn't get that until the day before. And I had to be back
Who has
in
the-
Canada right after the.
who has the podium? I think the Lions Club made the podium, didn't they? Or-
Podium,
Oh, no, Go Green, Kelly made it, I think, made the
That-
podium.
podium is,
that
at the
in-
school.
Yeah, the school's got it.
The school is story.
Good.
Scott, were you, successful in your quest for the speaker or not?
No, because he takes more, vacations than Bill Shea.
Okay.
So he's still gone?
Yeah, he's actually in Japan right now.
Still?
Yeah. Good
And
times.
Tom, you were
Must be
talking
nice to be
about a
retired.
speaker?
Yes, we talked about getting, what's his name, that represents us,
Peter Duran,
no.
Donnie Berthium.
Donnie Berthium.
We've confirmed that, yep. Donnie Berthium is one of our speakers, Lauren is one of our speakers, Nate is gonna say a few words, just for the exposure.
Yeah,
I was also going to reach out to, Peter Duran. He's our new state senator, and Claudia's experience was one year she forgot to ask Ann Goby, and she showed up and said, "Where do you want me to speak?"
That was the,
this last one,
no, yeah, that
That
was
was
at the,
Memorial. Veterans.
Veterans.
The Vietnam.
Vietnam, Ian came to, don't you want me to speak? I'm like, oh,
Yep.
forgot you, Ian. Oh, God. She did a beautiful speech that year, it was very nice, and she was there last year too.
Yeah, she does a good job.
She does a very nice job, yeah. So I think if you have your state rep, you need to have your senator too,
Okay, I'll reach out
So
to
you
Peter
don't-
Duran
yeah.
tomorrow,
so nobody gets offended.
okay? Yeah.
I heard
It's
a lot.
2024, everybody gets offended.
Yeah.
I got on,
We try not to.
I didn't say anything, but I had 2 or 3 people who thought we had way too many speakers last year.
I was just going to say that there was a lot of speeches.
So we have Peter and Donnie and Lauren.
Yep.
That's,
That
That's
should be enough.
sufficient.
Yeah.
yeah.
I can
Well-
make mine longer.
You can make it shorter.
No,
Or shorter.
We
It was 5
no
minutes.
more than 5 minutes.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I kept it to 5
my,
minutes.
my
But you know, some of the
attention
speakers
span
were
isn't there.
really,
Yeah.
really interesting and
Right.
very good.
Yeah.
Right.
Ann Goby told the story of a woman here in Massachusetts that had lost her life that I'd never heard of.
Yeah.
And it was very, it was a very interesting speech, I enjoyed it.
So what are you gonna do, now Janine Como, we all know, had a stroke.
Right.
So, she usually does the kids, and she does a beautiful job when she interviews the kids usually. But last year, I think we ought to go with, one kid learning one thing. That always is very impressive. Remember when that little girl did that, Tom? She was amazing.
Yeah.
And they can do it, they can do it. So, I don't know if Janine's gonna be back in time
I
to get
know.
that out into the schools.
Yeah. And you know, Claude, just timing wise, I think they should probably get that end of February, beginning of March.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, you should
Yeah.
have everything at the school, you should have it out in the newsletter that from the school that goes home to the parents, that, you know, we'll have auditions on this day in April probably, or beginning of May. Auditions will be, these are the 3 speeches that you want them to learn. You know,
They have
and they
the
can
choice.
contact us, they don't have to go through the school. When, that year we got that little girl, they just went here, they came here to do the audition,
Yeah.
and it wasn't the school that did it.
The kids that are homeschooled, do they get,
Yes,
are
they
they
came.
included in the
Yes.
email that goes out from
Yes.
the school?
Yes, one year, that's the only ones that did it.
Really, the kids that were getting homeschooled?
This, the,
Not the year we did it with, not the,
Not last year.
or the year before when we had the little girl, she was in school.
they were both good, but
Yeah.
before that, we
Uh-huh.
lost them because the school said that it was too much,
Too much competition?
no, too much for them, these kids, to do that. They did.
It's a little soft.
And I had
No,
to
they-
be, somebody had to strangle me, and I mean,
Well, just remember, we are being recorded.
I'm sorry, Sue.
I did not say anybody who it
Yeah,
was.
no,
but
that's okay, that's okay.
The kids, they can, you know what it is, we don't give the kids enough credit. They can do it.
Yeah.
If they
Yeah,
really
they
want to,
absolutely
they can do
can.
it, and
Yeah.
you know what?
They should give
It's-
them the option, I mean, if they
should,
can't do
and
it, they say
if
no.
we can have a nice citation for them or something when
Mhm.
they get done, they feel good about themselves,
Yes.
so,
I also think it's important to carry on the tradition of it all for a younger generation.
yes,
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think that having the kids involved are important.
yes.
Maybe we could do like a patch or something like that if they like step up and like they do the little bit extra during Memorial Day.
What we do, Scott, is we
Or
get
like-
a citation from the state.
Well, you could do that,
That's-
but
That's really cool, that means something.
yeah,
We
And-
want something memorable.
And one year we made them up ourselves, me and
Yeah.
Lori Reed made them up ourselves.
Yeah.
Nice certificates for each one, child,
Peter Durant,
either one,
Yeah.
Peter or Donnie,
Yeah.
both of them can do it.
yeah. That would be cool.
I'd be happy to help doing this, I mean, I don't think Janine's going to be, I mean, did she get to rehab? She's
She went
supposed
to
to go
rehab
yesterday, she's supposed to go to rehab.
And apparently they got to her soon enough, we shouldn't talk about her health.
Right.
But she's doing
Very well.
remarkably
Yeah.
well, which is fabulous to hear.
Yeah.
And we praise
So
God.
do you wanna be like on the back burner to?
Well, I
or,
don't-
mean,
I mean,
I'd be happy to work
I'd be happy
with
to
you,
help her if she
or help
couldn't,
Janine, that'd
if
be,
Janine is willing to guide me, but I don't know,
Janine was very good about picking them out.
but I don't know exactly what to do and how to go about it, and she does. If she's able to guide me, I'd be happy to be her errand boy
Mhm.
and run her errand so she doesn't have to do it, but I don't feel qualified to take it on by myself.
Thank you. Put that down.
Should I write that down?
I wrote
Write
that
that
down,
down.
okay.
down.
So Claude and I were talking about timeline, and we're doing pretty good. We have a lot of stuff in place.
Gotta work on
It's-
the programs too, don't forget the programs.
Yeah,
That's coming along.
well, the program, the thing that's nice about the program is John Nason sent me the file, and all I do is kinda just, you keep it bring it over and you make the changes that are
Yeah.
necessary to be made, which is
You don't
kinda
start all
nice.
over again.
Right,
Yeah.
right, it's not from scratch, so
Yeah.
that's not a, that's, we can handle. Program's easy, but we need to invite people. When do we start inviting people? Do we do it now? Do we do it in February? Do we wait till March? I am gonna be reaching out to the antique, car people so that they get it on their schedule. That email will be going out this week. Bill Shea gave me, their
I was just
email
gonna say,
address.
he's the guy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's the
Yeah.
guy to do that.
But the other people that we've invited, thank goodness we have this little binder. So, like Monty Tex, they've already committed. The National Guard, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, not a big deal. Claude usually takes care of the horse people. I'll take care of the antique cars, but we have the tractor group. I asked the fire department last year. Lions Club, Bill did that. The select board I did, baseball, t-ball. Police department, Bill did. I did all the town committee members. Veterans in town, and Veterans Inc., we decided we weren't gonna do that again,
Yeah,
because
they're-
they
they're
didn't
not
show
gonna
up
show
last year.
It's not the same program anymore.
Yeah.
It's a, residential treatment program for substance use. you
Yeah.
know, so they can't come out.
Right, okay. So, our experience with reaching out to the veterans here in town, last year we sent them a letter. And we didn't really get much. Claude,
What?
do you wanna say something about, we don't wanna mail them a letter.
No, because that's way too expensive. If we have the email addresses to the veterans in town, that's something that people might actually open quicker than a letter.
I will have Nate put out a Facebook blast in the, cause I know there's a few Facebook groups and a lot of the veterans in town are like post 9/11
Yeah.
era, so they're gonna be on social media.
Yeah.
I don't think a mailing is the best way to reach
No.
half of our demographic.
Right,
And I mean, most of the people that show up every year are the people that show up every year regardless if we send them like
This is
mail
true.
or anything else. They know that Memorial Day is our parade and show up. So I would say like the social media platform would be definitely good. Anybody that Lauren's reached out to through the VSO here could always email those people and be like, hey, you know,
Yep.
special, you guys are a special day, we want you to represent.
You know what,
Thank you.
God bless you.
you know what, I think it helps out some, I mean, actually is, you know, one-on-one getting together with some people, but there's a lot of, in Gardner, there's a lot of, what do I wanna call them, VFWs and things like that. If we have flyers, and if we go and talk to them, you know what I mean, here, can you hang up this flyer for me? We're having our Memorial Day, if anyone would like to walk in our parade, we would love to have them. We're honoring our vets that day, blah, blah, blah. It's all communication they talk about. I mean, you can email and send as long as you want, but you have verbal communication with people and you go to these places in Gardner, I think there's 3 of them in Gardner. You can go, that's where I got my poppies that one year, that we gave out. So, I think if you made up some nice flyers and we went around to the different VFWs and places like that, the Elks Club and all them, that maybe you might get some people from there. Cause a lot of people from Gardner don't even know we had it, and they didn't even have a parade one year. They didn't even have it, and they were like, we would've come, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I think we can reach out to other surrounding towns, that if they would like to march, we would love to have them, we'd love to honor them in our parade.
Like if,
That kinda
like other
stuff.
tons don't actually do anything for
A
Memorial Day.
lot of towns don't do much anymore, it's kinda like I hate to see it go by the wayside, because it's a community event. And what we're all trying to do here
Yeah.
is bring our small community
Does Princeton actually
together.
do anything?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's small, but this is different. I mean, Hubbardston is a very good, I think the community is coming together more and more all the time.
Yeah.
So we wanna make sure we include everybody in it, so, but we can reach out to the other towns, even Rutland, you know, I don't know what Rutland does on Memorial Day. I guess they have a little parade.
They do have a
But they might
parade.
have it in the morning, and we have ours in the morning too.
Yeah, well, if it's,
what time's
Is
that?
But it's
Noon
worth a
time.
try, it's worth a try.
Yeah.
no, I'm just saying, noontime on Memorial Day is the time. Because that's when the flag comes down,
We usually
goes
have
up.
ours, what time do we start, 10:30? We line up at 10 or 10:30?
10:30.
Yeah.
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 And last year, we wanted to do it at 11:15, and people said, oh, no, don't do that, and so we were very early,
Yeah.
you know. Well, it was early.
Well, like Tom said, you can stop
Yeah,
and raise
Yeah.
the flag, right, Tom?
Yeah.
You said
Yeah.
when it gets close to 11, we stop and we raise the flag.
Yeah.
Down.
what, do we wanna have the parade
Sometime.
earlier? Cause you're talking 11 was when it was starting.
It took, a lot of people were showing up late to set up to have the floats and everything there. I mean, then you're talking about the Boy Scouts, the softball kids and everything else like that getting there. I mean, it's kinda hard to really get a kid out of the house nowadays at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning to be there for a certain time.
10:30, right?
yeah.
We had line up at 10:30?
So, I mean, 10:30
So, and then they
is
start
reasonable
walking down
for,
around 11, 11:15, something like that.
Yeah.
yeah,
And they come down, then you can have your opening, prayer, whatever you have, and then just before you start, it might be around 12.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard because you don't know. I know we're all the speakers are all supposed to only have 5 minutes, but, I don't think in the several years that I was doing that, what we just took it on is when it was time to raise the flag.
Everything stopped.
And we just stopped.
Did
And
it?
then we picked up wherever, if it was in the middle of your speech, we did, but we let you make the rest of the speech
After,
after.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
flag comes first,
yeah.
That's the whole point of the day.
yeah.
So, I'm gonna title this communication, okay? This is minutes oriented. We're gonna be using social media. We're gonna be reaching out to other VFWs in the area, inviting the veterans to come. We'll make some kind of a flyer to put it out there, and let's see what we get. Okay?
And you probably don't wanna put it out too early, you probably wanna put it out in April.
Oh, yeah.
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 April's when you wanna really
Now,
go
before
and
that.
visit, buy a drink with these guys, they got a bar there, have a drink with them and talk about it.
I'll do that.
Only if you bring me with you. Have a good time, okay?
All right.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Oh, this is being recorded. Okay.
Everything's being recorded.
Yeah, really. Anything else people would like to talk about?
Are you, do you
Yeah.
have someone to do the invocation? I hadn't heard.
The-
Did you
the,
talk to Jane or no?
Well, I haven't talked to her, but I will, Jane, I will, I know she was,
I thought we had her
well,
nailed down.
we know that she had a great time and
Okay.
Is willing to do it again.
and is willing to do it
But
again.
that was last
But-
May.
But in the interim, she's had some surgery, I think.
She never did have surgery. She had major problems with her feet, and they were going to do surgery on one foot, but it ended up not being.
Not happening.
So she was
She
on
the
heavy
cha-
dose of steroids.
Is she the chaplain? Is That was-
She's our
she's a
assistant.
Assistant to.
Yeah.
So,
But-
is there any way that we can make an accommodation for her if she is gonna come and speak? Maybe we could like have
Oh, yeah.
a microphone to be at her level if she's in a chair or something
No,
like
no,
that?
she'll be up and about, she's
Okay.
up and about.
Yeah, she's not gonna,
But I do recall that she did enjoy it and said she would be happy to do it again.
Sweet.
But I didn't know if we had, how we officially go about that, this is my first time around.
I made the assumption that was already handled,
well,
if you could
I am
confirm that.
too.
Yeah.
I just haven't ran across her since then, so
We'll see that it's verified.
I guess I should go to church.
You're gonna
I
go
was
to
gonna say,
church
it
on
wouldn't hurt,
Sunday and
Tom.
talk to her, that might be a good idea.
Well, I do go, but not, you know, she and her, she,
Yeah.
Nancy and my wife are sisters, if you
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
They go.
When Andrea gets up at prime time,
Yeah.
otherwise, because he's been known to go by herself.
And that's a good thing, Nancy.
8 o'clock in the morning is a little early on Sunday,
Yeah, yeah, I hear you, I hear you.
to be in Holden.
Okay, so,
We'll talk to Jane.
I'm thinking with the list of people, when should we be inviting them? That was my original question.
Well,
February.
you're gonna go out in April, invite who?
The tract people, I'm gonna do
Oh, the
the
tract-
antique
oh, you wanna make sure,
cars,
We
things
should
like
start
that,
really
you know,
getting
talk to
the-
Rick Green, see
We
if he
should
can-
really start getting this into people's minds in February.
Like
And then
say
basically
date.
keep on like, not hammer it in, but like a reminder, like all the way up until May. Like, hey, this is happening, you're invited, especially with Facebook, you can basically repost stuff on the Hubbardston People forum and be like, hey, you know, veterans, blah, blah, blah.
Well, the Lions Club, you put their little
Yeah.
thing in, float little thing.
And then, I don't know if we could, I mean, we do the, what you call it, the town, flasher at the center there. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we could like, maybe get that going in like April, like the beginning of April, hey, Memorial Day's coming up, all veterans welcome, blah, blah, blah. If you wanna march in the parade or basically just be up at the town common, either way, we invite you to.
If they march in
Big
the
part.
parade, they get a T-shirt.
Yeah.
We got a beautiful T-shirt, did you show her?
Yeah,
She did show you?
No, I just got the
See
artwork
what Lauren
yesterday.
thinks of that.
that's awesome.
It's blue, it's gonna be that color.
It's gonna be that color blue. This is the only copy I have, so you can pass it around, but I need it back, so I don't lose
Very
it.
nice,
like this.
Yeah.
So.
So our big thing was,
Did you
do
see
you
it?
put it on the front
Yes,
or
I
do you
did.
put it on the back?
It's back.
And
on the
Do you
back.
need-
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I
we're
like
putting it
that.
on the front, and this is the reason why, because of, we want people to see it. So when
Yeah.
they're marching down Main Street, it's on their front. When they're sitting, it's on their front.
Yeah, that's what you want.
You know, and you want, that's the whole thing, don't thank me. You know,
Did you see what it said?
thank the guys.
Yes, that's really nice, I like
Who
that.
didn't come. So, yeah, Marty Tech did this for us, did a nice job.
Question, that email that I sent you back in December, any thoughts on, since we're honoring the original veterans of
Yeah.
Hubbardston, since it is the centennial of them marching on Worcester with,
But nobody died,
nobody died.
nobody died.
But the
We're
same
honoring
names that were
those.
on there, are the same names that basically constantly, go into battle for Hubbardston.
Okay,
That's my point.
okay. We're honoring those who gave the ultimate sacrifice
And I-
during a battle. And we're very, very fortunate. We lost, what was it, 3? There was like 11, there were 44 during the Civil
I'm
War.
lost here.
Yeah.
3 in World War
Yeah.
II
How many
and
people from
11
the town who lost?
in World War II.
In action.
World War
And we're
One
going
was
way back to
was
The Civil
3,
War.
and World War II was 11. We're very, very fortunate that we haven't lost anyone in battle since then. There was no one lost during Vietnam. No one's been lost in the last 20 years during, at post 9/11.
Yeah.
Very, very fortunate.
So are you calling off these names of these people, or what
Yeah.
are you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, honestly, like, the whole reason why I brought it up is because it's we're supposed to be honoring the veterans that have always always stood up for the town.
And that's absolutely
And
Veterans Day,
the main reason why I say that, if you look on
Yeah.
that list there's a lot of names that are still in town.
Oh, absolutely.
And basically, they constantly get up in front of the gun to go to whatever conflict that this country is going into. And regardless if it was, 1724 when we marched on Worcester, or now, those same names are constantly stepping up to the bat and defending this country. And regardless if they're in the ground during combat or not, they should be honored for the fact that they stood up for this town
Are they alive or dead?
multiple times.
They need
Well, I mean, everybody on that list,
Are they
I would say.
they're all passed?
Ye-
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're talking the original people in 1724. I don't think anybody's.
So you don't do that on
No,
Veterans
but I
Day,
mean,
Scott?
But what I'm saying,
think
what
that
I'm
would be
saying
more
is,
appropriate for Veterans Day.
we're talking about the
might be
historical
more
families that
appropriate
have
for
always
Veterans Day.
constantly
Yeah, it
come into
is.
combat
Scott,
for
then
Hubbardston.
I'm with you.
Alright.
Scott,
I'm with
and
you.
Lauren just made a very good point.
I think that is great, and I think that's a great idea. I just think it might be more appropriate for Veterans Day. And this year, I didn't have the time to do it last year, cause last year was my first year, but I'm gonna try to do something for Veterans Day
Okay.
this year. But I think that would be more appropriate for Veterans Day, because for Memorial Day, it would be just to honor the people who didn't make it back to the town.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
I
can
don't,
I
there's
assist you
only,
with that?
how many, like, 3 for Veterans Day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing I gotta talk to Nathan about.
I got I got
is
Wednesdays.
a Veterans Day thing.
I got Wednesdays off every single week. So, except in cases of
I have no
like-
days.
Yeah.
No.
So, okay, just wondering, are we only honoring the veterans who died in Hubbardston?
Yes.
Okay, so why are we asking? I mean, do we want other towns to come to honor our veterans?
Not really,
in
because
Hubbardston?
when you guys
So
were
you don't
talking about
really-
it, it's like, well, yeah, okay, but this is Hubbardston.
So you don't want it, so why go to the
Yeah.
VFWs?
Yeah.
Why invite people?
Right.
You only want people from the town? I would think that everyone should be in. If they wanna come, maybe they have family that was here,
Yeah.
or maybe they,
Yeah.
maybe they don't have any other place to go and they might wanna go.
I'm not saying if you don't live in Hubbardston, don't dare step on the front. You
No,
know,
no, no,
That's not saying that at all.
Right.
But we're honoring the people who lived in Hubbardston that gave the ultimate,
Okay.
and absolutely, veterans,
That's
they don't
fine.
say, hey, your address is 94 Hub Ave, Shrewsbury. Not going to, I'm not going.
I mean,
No,
You
no,
know,
no, no,
the,
no.
my whole purpose is with this. A memorialized veteran isn't just somebody that died in combat. It's a veteran that has served the country, and regardless if they died in combat or they died over here due to natural causes or age or blah blah blah, should be memorialized as in the town. Because honestly, like, if they've served the country, regardless if it's overseas or over here, it should be memorialized as somebody that served in this country. And that's why originally I thought we were doing this Memorial Day to honor the original Revolutionary War soldiers that went to combat.
That's what Veterans Day is for. The veterans, they call it Veterans Day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right?
You know.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm not trying to be spicy or anything,
Yeah.
but, I think it is best to honor the people who were killed in action, or died by suicide, from service-connected
Yeah.
issues. Not people, cause like there's a ton of veterans who fought and came back and lived the rest of their life and are no longer here.
Right.
But
57
that's for-
suicides a day right now.
That's for Veterans Day.
Yeah.
So I think it's best to honor those who were killed over there and didn't come back or died by suicide.
Yeah.
Is what I think.
57 a day right now.
it's insane. Right now.
That's why I'm trying to like really push this, and I apologize if I'm coming off like a little bit of arrogant, but.
Well, I think the suicide piece is an important piece of Memorial Day, because it's not, just because it didn't happen over there, it doesn't mean it's not connected to that, but like, if you served in Vietnam and you lived the rest of your life and then you died of natural causes, that's not what this day is for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it shouldn't be just putting, it shouldn't be just, the country shouldn't be about $5,000 to put you in the ground. That's, and that's basically, with the soldiers that have committed suicide and stuff, that's basically what the country looks at them as. $5,000 is not our problem anymore. As a town, we should be standing up for these people.
Scott, I don't think this is the forum that we wanna have this discussion at. I'm sorry, if that's being rude, you're breaking my heart right now.
Well, I've always had a hard time reminding myself, and I grew up in a military family, so the difference between Veterans Day
Yeah.
and Memorial Day. There's a big difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day. Always has been, always will be. And maybe in somebody's speech,
Yeah.
that could be said. You know, this is not Veterans Day. This is Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And it's not to disregard all of those other military people, because
No, it's
Yeah.
absolutely important to remember. the
my
ones that
father died
didn't
being a
come
soldier.
home. Yeah,
This one will die being a sailor, you know.
Yeah.
But that's just because that's in their blood, but they're
Yeah.
not.
yeah, I totally agree, and I think that has a place for Veterans Day, and I'm gonna work this year to put something together for Veterans Day.
Veterans Day, I
It might
mean-
not be as big as Memorial Day, but I want to do something for
Yeah.
Veterans Day, so that we can bring that piece into it as well for the people who, didn't die overseas or still serve. I think that's important too, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do something for that.
I've always.
You know, you can always ask Donnie or Peter or whatever to exactly what
Include
Nancy
this.
said, at Memorial Day, you can ask them if they could tell these people exactly the difference. This day is for this, Veterans Day. Why can't they address that
think
day,
it's
so that
important.
people will understand one from the other, cause, you know, a lot of people don't come together on Veterans Day, but a lot of people will be there for Memorial Day, and for them to understand that's a good idea, Nance, I think.
It's a good idea, but he's not the right guy.
Who's not the right guy?
Your speaker,
Oh,
No.
who would be the right guy, John? Who would you
Well,
think?
it would
I
be,
can throw
it
that
would
in
be.
mine.
It'd be Lauren.
Yeah, I can throw that in mine.
Yeah?
Lauren, to be honest with
Lauren
you, if we're
or
gonna
it's
be.
me,
Maybe Lauren.
it's someone who is or has been just to make because people don't understand that.
They
Yeah.
don't, and
Yeah.
I agree, I
And
agree with you,
I
John.
think it
And
would
if
be
Lauren-
Lawrence.
Lauren,
If Lauren's gonna
That's fine.
actually bring up the memorialized veterans that have like passed to their own
Right.
circumstances, she should be the lead speaker, the final speaker.
I think I put that in last year about veterans who took their
Yeah, and then
lives.
Viola did too,
Yeah.
but I think with COVID and everybody coming out of that and basically the loneliness between all the first responders and everything that's been like ending themselves over the past couple of years, I think this should be a platform that we as a town should stand on and basically stand up for people. And that's basically why I'm vocalizing this so high, so much. Cause 57 a day is something that we need to focus on and try to, curb that in
But I
some
think
way,
she
shape or
could do it-
form.
I think she would do an excellent job.
Oh, I trust her.
Yeah.
So I
words.
can throw a couple lines in about it, cause I definitely did that last year,
Yeah.
cause it's something that's important to me. But like, if we're going with the theme of people, who didn't come back who were specifically from this town. I think that like suicide prevention would be like a whole separate theme if we were gonna take that avenue. And I'm comfortable with taking that avenue if we wanna do like a suicide awareness theme for Memorial Day. But if we're gonna go with that one, I'll just throw a couple lines in
Yeah,
about those we lost to suicide.
yeah,
Okay.
that works.
And you're gonna put in the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day.
I can also do that.
Okay, anything else anybody would like to discuss at this time? Yes, dear?
Can I ask about the flags?
Yes.
Are they going to be up on our new poles this year? The town, I understand, is responsible for that? Is the town's
Claudia?
responsibility? And I
Katie
was-
Young,
Hmm?
Katie, I think would be the
Okay,
one
I'll
that
talk to
would make sure
Katie.
that they're up.
Cause I was told the reason they weren't up last year is because the poles were up, some were down.
That's a Boy Scout.
That's a Katie Young, you asked Katie Young about that.
I will ask Katie Young about that,
Yes.
cause I definitely want them up.
Oh,
We saw every
absolutely.
other town around had their their flags up, and I thought it was,
I thought that was done.
I would
Hmm?
do that.
We had a whole discussion about the flags last year, didn't we?
They weren't up last year.
they weren't up.
They
no,
weren't.
ma'am.
Something else was up on there, remember? We said take it down.
I don't remember,
I
I just was
think it was,
told
What is
reason-
it, do they have that, something in June, do they have that craft fair in June
Oh
or
my
whatever?
goodness.
Yeah, those, but they didn't wanna take them down, I think, there was something else up there.
Are you talking about the ones on the ones at the cemetery were?
No, I'm talking
No.
about the flags that
Oh,
are on the
oh, they were
light
taking the
pole.
flag poles
The
down.
flag, and they
Remember
were
they had, the new
Right.
poles were behind them
Right,
in
and
the
they were
old
not-
part, and they weren't ready. They had taken everything down like 2 weeks before Memorial Day.
Well, I just
Yeah.
wanna
This
make
was-
sure that this year, now that we have this nice,
Yeah.
pretty downtown,
Yeah,
that we do
Okay.
have the flags up.
good
And I
point,
wasn't sure if it was
Nance.
our responsibility or Katie's, and I will speak with Katie.
Good idea.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, our next meeting. Of course, I don't have my cell phone, so,
What are we doing in February?
do we need one in February, or do we wanna wait until March?
March is fine.
Well, weren't we talking about maybe inviting people at the end of February, so when would we talk about that? If we're having it in March,
It would be done.
it'd be done
It'd
just
be done,
automatically,
yeah.
okay, sounds good to me then.
What are we looking at? We like a Wednesday at 4 p.m.?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
13th?
That's the day before Valentine's Day.
Oh, the 20th then?
That's fine.
I
Talking when, in March?
I
Yeah,
can't do
March.
the second, third, fourth Wednesday.
That would be the 27th.
Okay.
Well.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, 'cause I have to cook the Lions that day.
Okay, so, I'm thinking March 13th. I thought February.
Oh, yeah.
February 14th is.
Because we
is-
skipped.
is Valentine's Day. It's like, wow, wait a minute, we didn't do it then.
That's right.
So
Nobody
March
caught it either.
13th,
March what?
March 13th.
March 13th.
Memorial,
March 13th at 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Okay, guys.
Sounds good.
Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Unless there is anything else anybody wants to discuss?
No, a second.
Okay. So we're adjourning our meeting at 4:50 p.m.
Good.